everyone. The Department of Sociology welcomes our Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Rama, respected Principal Dr. Saravanan, Dean Academics Dr. Shakila Matthew, Administrative Officer Mr. Lokesh Kumar, professors from various departments and students of VET Institute of Arts and Science for the webinar on cyber violence. The great French philosopher Voltaire famously said, God gave us the gift of life. It is up to us to give ourselves the gift of living well. Let us invoke the presence of Almighty. I now request Deeptika to make us feel blessed with a prayer song.
मुक्ताकरात्मोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंशकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिदेवदैतकं नटाशुभासुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम् जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां. Thank you.
Thank you, Deeptika. Learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. I request Mr. Mukesh Khanna, Secretary of SALT, to welcome and introduce the chief guest.
Good evening all. Cyber violence is defined as online behaviors that criminally or non-criminally assault or can lead to assault of a person's physical, psychological or emotional well-being. UNICEF and the UN Special Representative on Violence Against Children in their recent poll this year reported that around 1 in 3 young people across 30 countries were bullied online, while 1 in 5 reported that they have skipped school because of it. This shows the seriousness of cyber violence and makes this session extremely important for youngsters, especially for women who are the major victims. Dr. Rama has done her post-graduation and MPhil in sociology. She holds PhD in sociology, specializing in women's studies. She joined as an assistant professor in American College in 2006. Her areas of interest are women's studies, social psychology, and social anthropology. She is a certified soft skills trainer. She has 15 research publications to her credit in books and international journals. She is a member of peer review committee for the Central University of Jammu, genre of religion and culture. She is one of the subject experts of sociology for the Educational Multimedia Research Center in Madurai, Kamaraj University. She has served as the jury for National Level Transgender Film Festival and Short Film Competition held in 2019. As a staff advisor of Sorority Youth Club, she organized a workshop on the elimination of violence against women. Recently, she has received Shakti Award from Lady Doak College and Transgender Research Center in the recognition of her efforts to build an equal society. On behalf of the management, I warmly welcome you for the session, ma'am.
The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. Now, I request our respected chief guest, Dr. Rama, to deliver the lecture on cyber violence.
Dhanashri, and thank you, Mr. Mukesh Khanna, for that warm and sweet welcome. And special thanks to the management and the Department of Sociology of VET Institute of Arts and Science College. I'm happy to be here presenting a session or lecture on the topic cyber violence. Mr. Mukesh Khanna made my job very easier about telling the impact or who are all the victims of cyber violence nowadays. But before let me go into the topic, we are all obsessed in one sense with the internet nowadays. The last thing that we see in the night happens to be the mobile, and the first thing that used to be in the morning happens to be the mobile. So even when somebody distances himself or herself from the usage of internet and all, after this pandemic period, everybody is exposed, whether you like it or not, be it in education, regardless of your age, education, occupation, everybody needs to come into this kind of online thing throughout the world. This is the only connectivity nowadays. And you know, which country happens to be the most having the most usage of internet in the world? You know, largest number of TikToks in the world download. Now it's banned, but downloads, India. Largest number of Facebook users in the world, India. Largest number of WhatsApp users in the world, obvious, India. So, but when it comes to the matter of the top countries which are having the highest number of internet users, China stands the first, and we happens to be the next one, second one. Okay, so without internet, without this connectivity, literally the world after this corona pandemic cannot function. It has come to a halt. It's only the internet that keeps on this world moving to some extent. So this internet has become omnipotent, omnipresent in all our lives. Without internet, without this getting into online streams or internet activities, everybody's everyday life cannot be as smooth as it could be. Okay, so either for bank transactions or for educational transactions, or nowadays even for getting groceries after this one, even for getting groceries and all, still people depend on internet. Okay, so a country which happens to be having the most number of internet users always has the digital freedom, and with the digital freedom always comes the um, responsibility as well as the threat for security. If we are all responsible, then there is no need for any security specifically to be mentioned. Okay, but if people are not feeling responsible or behaving responsible, taking advantage of the anonymity, internet's strongest weapon is its quick communication, but also it comes with the tag of anonymity. Nobody can identify yourself. You can sit at home. You can do whatever you want. See, you can show a different face to your family, but you can be a different person, altogether different person in online. நிறைய நேரங்கள்ல இன்டர்நெட்ல சைபர் வயலன்ஸ்ல எல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது people will not be able to believe that this person would have been the perpetrator of cyber violence. See, offline violenceக்கும் ஆன்லைன் வயலன்ஸ்க்கும் நிறைய டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு சைபர் வயலன்ஸை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும். பட் சைபர் வயலன்ஸினுடைய ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டி அல்லது அதனுடைய பெரிய ஒரு த்ரெட்டை நான் பார்க்கறது என்னன்னா, இட்ஸ் எபிலிட்டி டு ரீச் லார்ஜர் நம்பர் ஆஃப் பீப்புள். And physical violence, when I say the word violence, the thing that comes to your mind is automatically any offline violence. Physical violence is not. When we think of the word violence itself, our mind picturizes something: bloodshed, fight, conflict. So those are all the pictures that comes to our mind. But this cyber violence or this virtual violence or online violence can be equally damaging, and it can be more threatening and destructive, affecting the mental peace and mental health of any individual or any group. Usually there are too many causes for cyber violence. Okay, sometimes when it happens to be targeting individual, the causes may be different, but when it happens to be the targeting the whole group, sometimes it's race, religion, gender. It can take its own color depending upon the region. Okay, sometimes caste, hatred can be spread, which can provoke, incite violence. But worldwide, more number of victims happen to be from one gender, obviously women. So gender happens to be an universal cause, ground, soft targets for this one, this cyber violence. Okay, so when I start thinking of cyber violence, when I tell the word cyber violence, it may, you may visualize something as a very comfy or classy, elite kind of concept that no ordinary individual in India or no ordinary individual will be getting affected. It is something related like white collar crimes or it's an elite offense. No common man will be affected. Only IT people will be affected. No. In this one, this cyber violence, many a times in India as well as the world, the most affected people are the commoners. Okay, the slide. India stands second in internet usage, and when we come across the terminology cyber crimes, India has registered a jump of 63.5% jump from 2018 statistics to 2019 statistics. Our national NCRB data reveals that the cyber crimes have gone a jump for 63%. And recently, USA's FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, they have published a report and they've listed out top 20 countries that are victims of internet crimes. And India stands third in the world among those 20 countries that are victims. Usually, the cyber crime is a very broad word. Okay, this includes cheating, fraud for money, monetary purposes, financial purposes, everything. Cyber violence is a part of this umbrella, cyber crime. Cyber crime includes too many things, and cyber violence is a part of this cyber crime. And what is cyber violence? Any online behavior that leads to assault against the well-being of an individual or a group. See, sometimes it may be intentional, sometimes it may be unintentional also. See, sometimes the person who is posting a post against a gender or against an individual may not be knowing about the depth or extent of harm that could happen. Okay, so to them, that may be very unintentional. No, I don't mean to say that. I don't intend to harm us this kind of harm. They may say, but if it leads to an emotional assault in the sense it need not be physical all time. If it leads to a psychological or an emotional assault or attack, then that online behavior can be constituted as cyber violence. And there are too many laws in India, legal provisions in India to tackle with this cyber violence and all. The problem is many a times we may not be able to identify whether this comes under cyber violence or not. See, this is a very small thing. Does this really come under cyber violence? That's the thing that most of the times we used to think. Okay, so what are all the forms that cyber violence could take? What are all the forms in which cyber violence could reach all of us? There are many forms, and I have listed out few. Number one is cyber stalking. Stalking, you must be knowing that when somebody follows somebody else, an individual, monitoring, continuous monitoring with not a healthy intent. Okay, so a online monitoring of a person with or without the knowledge of the person is called as cyber stalking. This cyber stalking could take place in digital spaces for anybody. For this online monitoring, the easy thing about this online monitoring is the person or the stalker, it is the person who is following somebody in digital space. See, this stalking need not be in digital space alone. It can extend to offline spaces also. But they used to track this kind of persons or victim using this cyber, that is internet, then it's called as cyber stalking. Okay, so what are all the mechanisms that a person may use for stalking an individual. And before getting to cyber stalking is a crime in India. ஓகே, பின்தொடர்வது அப்படிங்கிறது ஒருத்தருக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கு பிடிக்கல அப்படிங்கிறத தாண்டி ஒருத்தருடைய அனுமதி இல்லாம அல்லது அவர் வேண்டாம்னு சொன்னதுக்கு அப்புறமும் ஒருத்தரை விருப்பம் இல்லாம பின்தொடர்றது அப்படிங்கிறது தான் நம்ம வந்து ஸ்டாக்கிங் சொல்றோம். ஸ்டாக்கிங் இஸ் அ கிரைம். நீங்க நிறைய தமிழ் மூவிஸ்ல எல்லாம் பாத்துக்கலாம். ஸ்டாக்கிங் இஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் குளோரிஃபைட் as a heroic act. எங்களை மாதிரி பசங்களை பார்த்தா பிடிக்காது, பார்க்க தான் பிடிக்கும் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரியான டைலாக்ஸா இருக்கட்டும். Whether a woman likes or not, see, stalking is equated to hard work many a times, you know, in movies, in silver screen. But reality, try to understand that stalking is a crime. Okay, one who does stalk cannot be a hero. So, giving importance to others' opinion can be heroic. So, cyber stalking, இதுல வந்துட்டு நிறைய mechanisms. How do they stalk? How does the person know that how to stalk the victim, where she is, where he is, அப்படிங்கிறது. So one of the mechanism is catfishing. Catfishing is nothing but having a fake profile. Okay, see, somebody maybe in Facebook or Instagram or any social media platform. So a person may use a different name, a fake name, sometimes with the profile photos of the persons that's well known to the victim. Okay, so with some fake profile photos, they have a profile and they send friend requests, they become friends and they stop. Okay, that is one way. And another way, that is in Facebook and all, check-ins. Whenever we go to a new place, many people among us have the habit of posting in the social media that I have checked in here, I have checked in there. So through the check-ins, people always, this kind of perpetrators, these stalkers, always keep a note on where people are going, where the victim is going. This cyber stalking could lead for violence, or it could lead for any malicious action. See, when somebody posts in the social media that our whole family is on a trip to here or to there, then there is a possibility of this stalker following you people there or looting your house here. So in both ways, stalking can lead to violence anyway. So through check-ins or through catfishing and through geotags. Nowadays, many times, our mobile cameras usually take photos, and when we post it in the social media platform, the geotags are available. So the geotag may tell what place, what time this photo was taken. So the stalker comes to know where you are at what time. So keeping these informations can be used to threaten you sometimes, can be used to cheat you, anything. So this type of stalking, see, what if somebody follows me? People may have more number of followers in Instagram or Facebook, and that is being considered as today it's a status symbol also. See, how many followers do you have? I have this much of followers. You have this much of followers. But having followers is going to do literally nothing, especially when you are at this tender age, when you're in college, or when you're not familiar with these kind of cybersecurity issues and mechanisms. Having followers is not at all advisable, because having followers or this kind of cyber stalking is, first thing, it's a violation of privacy. Anybody's privacy is to be respected, and it's a mere violation of privacy. Another thing, it's a form of intimidation. When somebody always follows you, when you are continuously monitored and watched, and you are being informed that I'm following you, I know that you are here, I know that your children are here, I know that you are walking now, you are going to this place or that place, then that leads to a sense of fear and panic. Depends upon the age and gender of the victims. So cyber stalking is one of the forms of cyber violence. The next one, cyber bullying and harassment. Cyberbullying and harassment means, sending hurting message or inappropriate message. That is, messages that are not supposed to be sent. Sending those messages to harass someone. So those things comes under cyberbullying. Why do people do this kind of cyberbullying? The first thing, the target's resource. Excuse me. First thing, the target's resource are targeted. So the target or the victim continuously say that, no, I don't like this, don't send this message. Even after the victim telling that, the perpetrator or the bully continuously sending messages. So first step, time and energy is waste. And if it continues, then the self-image and reputation are also attacked. Because this cyberbullying, first, it will happen in private. The next thing, it will happen in public. That is, when you post a post or when you post a photo in Instagram, or when you are in using internet, then it can go public. That is the pattern of cyberbullying. Okay. So this cyberbullying and harassment can take too many forms. Nowadays, memes and trolls are very common. Okay. If we like somebody, if we like a hero, if we don't like a hero, then likes, dislikes, bullying, harassing, it has become a part of the culture, has become a part of today's youth culture as well as media culture also. But this bullying, trolling, harassing can have a long lasting effect on the perpetrator also. If the victim knows about the things, then the victim's mental health is affected. But always, if you try to be a bully, you try to be a harasser, then that can change your very personality. It is not that நான் வந்து நெட்ல தானே வந்து ஒரு மீன் போடுறேன், நெட்ல தானே வந்து யாரோ ஒருத்தர் ட்ரோல் பண்றேன், நெட்ல தானே யாரோ ஒருத்தருக்கு வந்து நான் அசிங்கமா கமெண்ட் போடுறேன், எனக்கு பிடிக்கல, அது இந்த ஆக்டரா இருக்கலாம், அந்த ஆக்டரா இருக்கலாம், இந்த ஆக்ட்ரஸா இருக்கலாம், அந்த ஆக்ட்ரஸா இருக்கலாம். We are not here to judge anybody. Everybody is living their own lives and everybody is having their own profession. They are doing things to get money and they earn, they live their own life. Just by commenting in the comment box, text, இதெல்லாம் கமெண்ட் பண்றதுனாலயோ யாரோ ஒருத்தருக்காகவோ இல்ல ஒருத்தர் பிடிக்குதோ ஒருத்தர் பிடிக்கலன்றதுக்காகவோ திரும்ப திரும்ப பண்றதுல இந்த சைபர் புல்லிங் ஆர் ஹராஸ்மெண்ட்ல, if it's an individual known to you, the victim is also affected. But if it happens for some mass heroes kind of things, then the person who is doing the bullying, he will also be getting affected. His personality will also be getting changed. And third one is doxing. Doxing is nothing but posting all the personal information of a person in public. Sometimes you must have come across incidents that when some people react against an ideology, or when some people vehemently express their opinions, very strong opinions, then there is an easy tactic of cutting down that person by posting the photos of the person with a real phone number. Okay. And with some degraded sentences or misinformations. Okay, that is called as doxing. And sometimes revealing all the personal details. Okay, your personal phone number, your personal address and all. Okay, when one person doesn't like somebody, then publish all the personal details over the social media platform and let him or let her face the consequences. ஆர் ஈவன் ரீசென்ட்லி இப்பெல்லாம் நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா கூட தெரியும், ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்ல ஒரு இப்ப பிரசன்ட் ஒரு டீம் வந்து சரியா விளையாடாத போது அந்த டீமுடைய கேப்டனுடைய பொண்ணுக்கெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு ரேப் த்ரெட் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி எல்லாம் அரெஸ்ட் பண்ணாங்க. சோ இந்த மாதிரியான விஷயங்கள்லாம் நடக்கும்போது இஃப் அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு காமனான கலெக்டிவான ஒரு ஃபிகரா இருக்கலாம், ஒரு பர்சனல் ஃபேவரட்டா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல பர்சனலி ஃபேவரட்டா இல்லாத ஒரு ஆளா இருக்கலாம், அந்த மாதிரியான ஆளுக்கு எதிரான ஒரு வயலன்ஸை தூண்டக்கூடிய ஒரு செயல்ல ஒரு பகுதியா பப்ளிஷிங் ஆல் தி பிரைவேட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸ் அபவுட் இட். See, he is here, this is his car, this is his phone number, this is his residence, this is his personal number அப்படின்லாம் போடுறதுங்கிறது that is a part of the cyber violence. Okay, when the personal information that some people post can be a reason or can be a cause of the violence against an individual, be it emotional or psychological, then that is a part of cyber violence. Okay, and degrading representations. These kind of degrading representations are more common nowadays. That is, when two people are in relationship, when someone breaks it up, then the other person will post all the private messages, okay, or sometimes they threaten, they blackmail that I'll post all the private messages, private pictures that we have taken so far. So that is a part of the cyber violence. And sometimes when the women does not yield to that, when somebody like for example in Salem, I believe, some 6 or 7 years back, a woman by name Vinodini. Okay, so she complained to the police that somebody, a person who is not known to her, has mixed her photo in a pornography. So she wanted to remove that from the internet. She complained. She informed her parents. They complained to the police. But before, the police was very not sensitized about this kind of cyber violence at that time. So they were not dealing with the kind of swiftness that they should have dealt with. But before things move on, this girl committed suicide. So actually, she doesn't know the person. She doesn't know why he did that and everything. But when some person, there could be so many reasons. Some person may propose to somebody. If she refuses, then threats of pornography, revenge porn, that is called as revenge porn. And okay, you're not going to allow me, then you're not going to do what I'm telling you, then revenge porn. Sometimes they may have the pictures, they may post it. Sometimes they may not have the pictures. They may take some pictures from any degrading pornography, and they may fix this particular victim's face and face alone in those representations, and publishing that as a revenge. Okay, that also comes under cyber violence. Okay, although cyber violence can affect both women and men, women and girls experience different and more traumatic forms of cyber violence. Men are also affected. Okay, it's not that always women are getting affected and men are not exempted. Men do get affected, women do get affected. But the thing is, though men and women are getting affected equally, it is always the men that happen to be the perpetrators. Okay, ஆண்கள் பெண்கள் ரெண்டு பேருமே வந்துட்டு சைபர் வயலன்ஸ்னால பாதிக்கப்பட்டாலும் பெண்களும் பாதிக்கப்படுறாங்க, ஆண்களும் பாதிக்கப்படுறாங்க, இல்லைன்னு சொல்லல. ஆனா அந்த சைபர் வயலன்ஸ செய்யற ஆளுக யாரா இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு பார்த்தா, அது ஆண்களுக்கா இருந்தாலும் சரி, பெண்களுக்கா இருந்தாலும் சரி, பெரும்பான்மையான இடங்கள்ல வந்துட்டு it is often the men. So that is why always cyber violence பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் women and girl children, they are considered as ரொம்ப soft targets and weak targets. Okay, so cyber violence it could take different forms. First of all, it may come to you. You may think of it only as a nuisance. Okay, இது ஒரு சாதாரண விஷயம். சைபர் ஸ்டாக்கிங்கா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல சைபர் ஹராஸ்மெண்டா இருக்கலாம். யாரோ ஒருத்தர் திரும்ப திரும்ப மெசேஜ் அனுப்புறது. Everybody in this life, see, I hope all the girls and women watching this presentation must have come across this kind of nuisance. Okay, you may not like it, but somebody will be continuously sending messages. Okay, though you tell him or her to stop, it may continue. See, first thing is we consider this as nuisance. We don't consider this as violence. We consider this as nuisance, and we just neglect it. We keep it aside. Okay, let it go. And then when it is not stopping, when it is continuing, then that develops a sense of fear and panic that no, it's not going the right way. So first of all, how to deal with nuisance? Most of the girls, most of the women, either they complain it to their family, okay, parents or spouse or friends, they complain to them, or they may just block the user. Okay, if there is a call, then block it. If there is in social media, then just block it. So blogging happens to be a very easy option for women as well as girls. Okay, but even after this complaining and blocking, when the nuisance continue in different forms, that is, when you can block a single phone number, they may come from another number. You can block your Facebook ID, they may come from another ID, through WhatsApp, anything. So if it continues like a pattern, then women and children feel like a harassment. But the ease with which they complain, the nuisance, is not possible in terms of a harassment. ஒரு நியூசன்ஸ்ங்கிறது இவன் வந்து திரும்ப திரும்ப ஃபோன் பண்றான் அப்படிங்கறதுல வந்துட்டு ஒரு நியூசன்ஸ வந்து சொல்றதுல இருக்கக்கூடிய கம்ஃபர்ட் அப்படிங்கிறது, அது வந்து தொடர்ச்சியா அது ஒரு ஹராஸ்மெண்ட் ஆகுது அப்படிங்கறத நீங்க ஃபீல் பண்ணும்போது அதை சொல்றதுல அவ்வளவு தூரம் வந்து கம்ஃபர்ட் இருக்கிறது இல்ல. குறிப்பா இந்தியன் சொசைட்டியை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அந்த ஹராஸ்மெண்ட்டை ஃபேமிலி கிட்ட ஷேர் பண்றதுலயோ, இல்ல அந்த ஹராஸ்மெண்ட் வந்து ஒர்க் பிளேஸ்ல இருந்தாலோ, இல்ல ஒரு எஜுகேஷன் போகும்போது இந்த மாதிரியான அகடமிக் என்விரான்மெண்ட்ஸ்ல இருந்தாலோ, this harassment is not an easy thing to handle. Okay, because நம்ம சொசைட்டியை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிச்சுன்னா ரொம்ப ஈஸியா வந்துட்டு விக்டிம் ஷேமிங் சொல்லுவோம். யாரு விக்டிமோ அவங்களே வந்துட்டு தப்பு சொல்லு, நீ ஏன் அங்க போன, நீ ஏன் அந்த டைப்புக்கு போன, நீ ஏன் இதை யூஸ் பண்ண, நீ எதுக்கு ஃபேஸ்புக்ல இருக்க, ஃபேஸ்புக்ல இருந்து வெளில வந்துட வேண்டியதானே, நீ ஏன் வந்து வாட்ஸ்அப் யூஸ் பண்ற, உனக்கு எதுக்கு போனு, அதான் போன் இருந்தா தானே அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரிதான் அது நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப்ஸ் மே ஹேப்பன். So many times women and girl children, see, for this one particular of harassment, for this one particular incident, ஒரே ஒரு ஸ்டாக்கர் வந்துட்டு த்ரெட்டன் பண்றதுனாலயோ, ஒரு ஹராஸ்மெண்ட் வந்து இருக்கிறதுனாலயோ, many times women and girl children are not ready to lose their access into the world. Internet is literally providing them the access. So it is not possible for them. So in நிறைய கேசஸ்ல பேட்டர் எப்படி ஆகுதுன்னா, they do not reveal this to the family. When it's happening in the workplace environment, they don't reveal it to anybody else, but rather workplace environment na they try to quit the job, join somewhere else. Okay, ஃபேமிலியில சொல்ல முடியாதபடி சமாளிக்க முடியுமா, அதை எப்படி சமாளிக்க முடியுமோ through their friends. ஓகே, அதே ஏஜ் குரூப்ல இருக்கிற ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸா இருக்கும், அவங்களுக்கும் வந்துட்டு நாலேஜ் இருக்கலாம், இல்லாம இருக்கலாம், பட் they try to handle it on their own. நியூசன்ஸ் ஷேர் பண்றதுல இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த ஒரு ஈஸ் அண்ட் கம்ஃபர்ட் நம்மளுடைய சொசைட்டில இன்னும் ஹராஸ்மெண்ட்ட ஷேர் பண்றதுக்கான ஸ்பேஸ நாம கேர்ள் சில்ட்ரனுக்கோ விமெனுக்கோ ஃபேமிலியில கொடுக்கல அப்படிங்கிறது தான் பேட்டர்னும் நிஜமும் கூட. அண்ட் இன்னொன்னு, இந்த சைபர் வயலன்ஸை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் பாய்ஸ் அண்ட் கேர்ள்ஸ் இதை வியூ பண்றது ரொம்ப டிஃப்ரெண்டா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தேன். இந்த சைபர் வயலன்ஸ் இப்படி ஒரு நியூசன்ஸ் இருக்குன்னு வைங்களேன், when somebody stalks, when somebody harasses, when somebody bully, இந்த மாதிரியான விஷயங்கள் எல்லாம் பாய்ஸ் டேக் தீஸ் as fun, complete fun. Okay, So whoever starts, whoever bullies, whoever harasses, deal it like a fun. They have been trained. They have been trained to handle things light. They have been trained to leave the baggage always down. But women are not trained to view these things as fun or light. So when your sister, your daughter, your wife, your mother, even your girlfriend, your friend, okay, when somebody shares an incident of harassment to you, first thing to do is don't suspect the victim, don't blame the victim. Okay, if there is a harassment nowadays, every app or every social media platform or even police department have a cyber wing. Every app has that provision to block the user. But the problem is, even for example, in Facebook, see if somebody is sending you inappropriate messages, if somebody is harassing you, you want to mean, the block the person means you can block the user, but the Facebook does not recognize why we are blocking that person. Okay, it simply blocks. Okay, you want to block the user? Okay, block. Just. But why you are blocking somebody? That reason is not being registered. So the same person, when you block, the same person could come with another profile, or with the same profile, he could go on harass some other person, man or woman. So the social media platforms, though they have their blocking mechanisms, believing that is only second. First of all, tell your trusted, parents or teachers or friends, and just file a complaint. That is very easier. That too, cyber complaints is very easier. And even every Facebook and all, every mechanism has its own email IDs that you could report to them that this is promoting hatred, this is harassment. But many a times, even social media platforms like Facebook, they never acknowledge. See, there is a concept called as flaming. ஃப்ளேம், நெருப்பு எரியறதுன்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? there's a concept called as flaming. flamingனா வந்துட்டு ஒரு அட்டாக் பண்ற மாதிரி ஒருத்தர் பேசுறது. So flaming is very common in Facebook, but Facebook never acknowledges flaming as a threat, never acknowledges flaming as a part of a violence. So they have their own standards in dealing with what is violence and what is not. But Indian society, it has its own law, IT wing, to deal with that. So when you feel your cyber violence is happening, the harassment is happening, don't take things in your hand. Better go for reporting. And if you do not stop those kind of cyber violence at the harassment level, then it may lead to the violation of privacy, not only in online spaces, but also in offline spaces. நிறைய நேரங்கள்ல இது ஆன்லைன்ல மட்டும் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு பிரச்சனையா இல்லாம ஆஃப்லைன்ல நேரடியாவும் நம்ம சந்திக்கக்கூடிய அல்லது சந்திக்கிற மாதிரியான ஒரு பிரச்சனையா தான் இது உருமாறுது. அது வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்ணாம அதுக்கு முன்னாலேயே அதை வந்து டீல் பண்றதுங்கிறது தான் பெஸ்ட் வே. சோ எல்லா நேரங்களையுமே வந்துட்டு நான் வந்து போலீஸ்ல போறதோ இல்ல நான் என் பேரண்ட்ஸ் ரிப்போர்ட் பண்றதோ இதை பண்ணும்போது நிறைய பேரண்ட்ஸும் சரி அதை வந்து புரிஞ்சுக்கக்கூடிய மாதிரியான மென்டாலிட்டியில இருப்பாங்கன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. சோ அந்த ஸ்டெப் போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஹவு டு பி சைபர் ஸ்மார்ட். ஓகே, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் திங், don't post personal information on social networking sites, be it any site. Today, having this food at this restaurant with my family, with my amma, with my appa. No, please don't post any personal information. Okay, sometimes you may post a picture, by standing in the entrance of your house, revealing all the details of the house, door number, street number, everything. Don't do that. It is very easier nowadays to get information, a person's altogether all personal information from social networking sites. So before posting personal informations, think whether it is necessary or not. And second thing, about posting photographs. Remember, many of the photographs have geotags. They could reveal what time, what place it was taken. So, regarding the posting of photographs, be very restrictive. Don't post personal photos. And even don't share personal photos through WhatsApp. Okay, you may have a mobile, you may have your own intimate pictures, personal photos, but don't share it through WhatsApp. Nowadays, people easily retrieve that. Remember, it is not safe. And whatever data that you send to somebody through WhatsApp, it gets stored somewhere else. It is leaving a digital print. You may think that you are sending that picture to your own friend, close friend, trusted friend. So he or she will not be misusing that picture. But the picture that you sent does not reach the person directly. It reaches somewhere else. It is posting a print there. Digital print is available there. Then it comes from that place to this person. So before posting photographs, be very careful about the photographs that you chose to post. Not only share in social media, but also share through WhatsApp. And before posting personal information and photographs, check twice. And regarding your passwords, use strong and different passwords for all your cyber accounts. Okay. Sometimes some people may use their phone number, okay, their date of birth, or their names, their favorite things. See, your close circle may know all these things, is it not? Your name, your date of birth, your favorite things, everything, sometimes password also. So, see, if you have a password, please don't share with anybody, because that could lead to hacking or impersonation. Some person may use your email account for a malicious purpose, for an illegal purpose, or to defame anybody. That person will easily escape and you will be put behind. So don't share your passwords. Sharing your password is not the way to show your friendship at all. Friendship is a very noble thing. Okay, it's a very it's have something to do with trust, honesty, everything. But sharing this password doesn't come under that category. If you are true friends to each other, then you both should say to each other that you please keep your password. Don't tell that to me. That's it. Okay. And keep strong and different passwords for different accounts, because sometimes if you use the same password for different cyber accounts, then if one person is able to crack one account, it'll be very easy for him or her to crack all the accounts. Okay, so use strong and different passwords, and then no two same passwords, and also change passwords often. No password should be continued more than 3 months. When you're having bank account and all, bank itself say that change the password. But for all your cyber accounts, you need to change the password often. Then only it will be safe. Okay. And if you have unknown friend request, okay, you do not know the person, or do not know the individual in person. Okay, அவங்கள வந்து பர்சனலா உனக்கு தெரியவே தெரியாது. Somebody has sent friend request. இது வந்து பாய்ஸும் செய்றீங்க, கேர்ள்ஸும் செய்றீங்க. ஓகே, மோர் நம்பர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் யாருக்கு இருக்கு அப்படிங்கறது வந்து ஒரு கெத்து. ஒரு பொண்ணு வேணா யோசிக்கலாம், ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட் ரிக்வெஸ்ட் அக்செப்ட் பண்றதுக்கு முன்னால வந்துட்டு இது யாரு என்னன்னு. பசங்க நாங்க ஏன் யோசிக்கணும்? See, if you are sending a friend request to your own sister or to your own girlfriend, then you need to think who are all your friends and who are all not. So unknown friend request don't accept. யாருக்கு எவ்வளவு நம்பர் ஆஃப் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் ஃபேஸ்புக்ல இருக்காங்க அப்படிங்கறத பொறுத்து யாருடைய ஸ்டேட்டஸும் யாருடைய சேலரியும் எதுவுமே அசஸ் ஆக போறது கிடையாது. ஸோ டோன்ட் அக்செப்ட் unknown friend request. And when you receive a spam mail வந்துட்டு ஒரு ஸ்பேம் வருது that says that you have won that lottery or no we know you or please come here we are going to give you something, any kind of any attractive or threatening thing, don't react, don't respond to any spam. Take a pass before responding to spams. Okay. And even after you being cautious, by following all these things, problems may happen, problems come. We are all walking in a road. Sometimes your bus may come in a high speed, your lorry may come with a high speed. So one cannot say that don't go in the road. Bus may be coming too fast, lorry may be coming too fast. So don't go to the road, don't cross the road. Nobody could say that. The road will be having vehicles, big vehicles moving in a high speed. But we need to train ourselves in handling the situation and crossing the road safely. And that is how, and that is why you need to be, you could be cyber smart. So இந்த இவ்வளவு இஷ்யூஸ் இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறதுனால சைபர் ஸ்பேஸ வந்து நம்ம வந்து கிளிக் பண்றதோ இல்ல பொம்பளை பிள்ளைங்களுக்கோ ஆம்பளை பசங்களுக்கோ இந்த வயசுலயோ இதுல வந்துட்டு ஆன்லைன்ல வந்து அவங்களை வந்து வரவே விடக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்றதுங்கிறது வந்துட்டு it is not at all possible in today's context. It is not at all possible, but many times girl children பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அல்லது விமனை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் there is a tendency. Okay, சைபர் ஸ்பேஸ இன்ஃபேக்ட் சைபர் ஸ்பேஸ அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப த்ரெட்டனிங் ஸ்பேஸ் ஆக்கிட்டோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி சொன்னா, அது அவங்களுக்கு வந்து அது ஒரு அச்சுறுத்தக்கூடிய ஒரு இடமா மாத்திட்டோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி சொன்னா, அதை வந்துட்டு அவங்கள அங்கிருந்து பங்கேற்க விடாம வெளியே அனுப்புறதுங்கிறது ரொம்ப ஈஸியும் கூட. ஓகே, சோ பட் அப்படி ஆகுறதுங்கிறது என்னவா எதுல கொண்டு போய் முடியும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு யூஎன் விமனுடைய எக்ஸிகியூட்டிவ் டைரக்டர் பூம்சலே அவங்களுடைய ஒரே ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் அதை சொல்லி நான் வந்து இந்த பிரசன்டேஷனை முடிக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறேன். To be disconnected from technology in the 20th century, it's like having your freedom disrupted, your right to work, your right to meet people, your right to learn, your freedom of speech. So when we decide to walk out of internet for the fear that we have towards the cyber violence, then we lose our right to work, right to meet people, right to learn, and right to freedom of speech. So if women become so intimidated and traumatized from the experiences they may have, it's a whole world that will be lost to them for the rest of their life. So when women are not feeling safe, then they are losing the world for the rest of their life. So being a responsible citizen, being a responsible human, being a responsible friend or brother or sister to anybody else, let's make a world which is cyber smart and safe for both boys as well as girls. Okay, thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your inspiring thoughts. We now open the floor for questions. Participants can post their questions in the chat box.
Any questions? Amit, elbow cough, good vibes. Okay. So, Ali, good evening, sir. No question at all. Thank you, ma'am, for giving message. Thank you, Jennifer. Vijay Shri, awesome message. Thank you. So, Rupa Dashni, very useful, ma'am. Wonderful speech. Thank you. So, only compliments. Thank you for all the compliments. Malavika, Janani, Benazir, Monisha, Chellamal, Akshaya, Guhan, Gopika, Shiva, Jagannath, everybody. Sudha, Dina. Thank you all. Okay. If you have any questions, again, I'm here to answer. Nikita Kumari Rati. Thank you. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. And you're all being wonderful audience. Okay. Only compliments. All apps have their terms and conditions before login. These are being accepted by people even without reading them. If apps misuse information with such conditions, is it a cyber violence? Yes, it is a cyber violence, but by agreeing to their conditions, we give permission for them to use all our information. So practically, we cannot sue them. Practically, we cannot book them under cyber violence because it is we who agree to all the conditions. Okay. Whenever you install any app, it'll ask the first question: can I access your camera? Can I access all your photos? Can I access all your contacts? Then we say yes, just for the sake of downloading that app. So obviously, it's we who say yes. So every click, think before that click. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Ritika, Nishant, Megha, Kritika. Thank you, ma. So if there are no more questions, and thank you all for those who take time and patience to listen and to type thank you in the comment box. Thank you all. If there are no more questions left, then I hand over the session to Dhanashri.
Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. To express our gratitude, now I call upon Mr. Harish, Joint Secretary of our department, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to propose a hearty vote of thanks to our Chief Guest, Dr. Rama, for making this webinar memorable. Thank you, ma'am, for your interesting and thought-provoking address. I'm sure that all the participants have taken note of the lecture and benefited. I thank our beloved principal, Dr. Saravadan, for providing this opportunity to conduct this wonderful webinar. I also thank our respected HOD ma'am, Dr. Milnani, and Professor Mithun Chakravarti of Department of Sociology, BET IAS, for organizing this webinar. I also thank the audience for their energetic participation. And finally, I thank the students of the department for assisting the organizers in conducting this webinar and making a grand success. Once again, I thank you all.
Thank you, Harish. Thank you all for being such an energetic audience. The feedback cum attendance form is posted in the chat box. Participants, please fill the form before leaving the session. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.